All right, hello everyone. Welcome back to the show. A couple of updates for you here today. And is Thomas Massie losing his run for re-election here? And we've got some interesting stuff. First, I want to share with everybody that I've been fooling around and figured out some new stuff. And as you can see on the page, somewhere over here, you might not be seeing where I'm pointing, but you can see. Um, I have a URL that I've created here. And if you enjoy the show, you can buy me a coffee. So for people that want to scan the IRL or the URL, excuse me, IRL is in real life. If you would like to be in real life and then scan the URL, that would be cool. And you want to donate to the show, buy me a coffee. You can pick whatever denomination you want. If you're enjoying the show, I really appreciate it. I've been doing the show for several years now, and I'm trying to grow it. I've finally gotten to, a couple of hundred supporters across multiple platforms. And I do all of this out of pocket. So it's the streaming software I pay for, all of the equipment that I use, that all comes out of pocket. I don't currently get a dime. So anyone that's willing to donate, you can click that URL if it's easier for you, or you can follow the link buymeacoffee.com and / relief valve podcasts. So I'd appreciate that, guys. Thank you. All right, so let's get to this. So Thomas Massie loses. Trump notches more GOP primary wins, but big midterm questions remain. President Donald Trump flexed the strength of his party transforming political movement again Tuesday, continuing the successful process of eliminating political enemies. Jesus Christ, I can't talk today. Within the GOP this month. At the same time, Trump's low approval ratings and the war with Iran have raised red flags in key Republican primaries among base voters who supported this America First agenda that included the idea of a focus on domestic issues. And here's one of the problems that's happening right here. I'm going to get into this as we go on. There, as much as people are trying to say there isn't a divide in MAGA, there's a divide in MAGA. So I'm MAGA. I don't know for how much longer, but I'm MAGA, and the reason I still am is because I don't like flip floppers. The people that do that, they just jump from one bandwagon to the other the first time one or two things goes wrong that you don't like. That bothers me. It shows you never really had any loyalty. But at the same time, if you're taking your licks and you're going through and you're getting your ass kicked, at some point you have to go, why am I on this train? And the Iran war is a mess. It's not, you know, they try to say conflict, war, everyone's divided on what that is. It's a mess. We're trying to negotiate with them. They don't want to negotiate, or they keep throwing bullshit at us and making it harder. And in the meantime, we're banging our head against a wall over there. We don't seem to be accomplishing what we need to accomplish. This is going to be very bad coming into the midterms, because if President Trump and the Republicans in general can't bring this to a close by the midterms, which people are going to start campaigning now. They're already putting plans together. The midterms are in November. Voting's in November, just like the presidential election. So they're already planning out their campaigns, and they're probably going to get going in the summer. So if they don't have a plan to end this, everybody is going to turn to the party that claims they will bring it to an end and they will lower gas prices. And I guarantee the slimy Democrats are going to jump on this, and they're going to use that as soon as they possibly can. And this will be one of their main running points will be the Epstein list. Why wasn't it released, even though they never gave a shit about it up to this point? Will lower gas prices, even though gas prices went up with Biden as well. He didn't give a shit. He canceled pipelines that would have made things better for us. But they're going to turn around now, and they're going to claim they're the people's saviors. And for the people that don't follow the news and follow everything that's going on, like I do, like you and many others do, they're not going to get it. They're just going to want their wallet to stop hurting. And we're going to get Democrats back in office again. This is going to be a disaster. The Democrats hate America. They hate your family. They hate you. They hate the nuclear family. They hate the foundation of what this country is. And if they get back into office again, you will see a repeat of everything we were already dealing with Biden was in office. Open borders, criminals roaming the streets, our daughters being raped by violent illegal immigrants. And it goes on and on. And gas may drop some, but they're also going to make bad changes with gas. And we're going to see problems with it as well. So, do I agree with some people who say the midterms are going to be a disaster? Yes, currently. I know that they're redistricting. I know that they're changing maps in states and in districts and making it so there's more Republicans than there are Democrats. Democrats are trying to do that too, but like they didn't do it legally, they cheated to do it. So we'll see if it ends up making, with some of these changes that are happening, it's possible that the Trump and the Republicans are having some foresight to see the danger they're looking at down the road, that it's going to be a shellacking, especially with how upset the American people are. So they need to take action now if they're gonna maintain any sort of majority at all. So I'll continue. But in the meantime, Trump continues to prove he can not only influence the Republican primary electorate, but also attack Republicans who have opposed him in any way without feeling there are significant negative consequences. I think that everyone can take away from this that is that Donald Trump is going nowhere, said a Trump advisor working for his political operation. He has won and will continue to win. I will see. I mean, Trump doesn't give a shit because he can't run for a third term. Although, if we're at war, he can suspend elections because that's happened before, previously in our history. And that's a way of like Mickey Mouse in a third term. So he keeps joking around and talking about this third term thing. Well, if we keep things going with Iran and it escalates and it gets worse, during a time of war, we can't accurately have an election. So elections can be postponed until that conflict is over. So I don't know if that's his plan. But Trump this month defeated 5 Republican state senators in Indiana who opposed his push for mid-decade redistricting. Over the weekend, his political machine also blocked Senator Bill Cassidy, who voted to convict him in his 2021 impeachment trial, from advancing in his primary in Louisiana, a state he has represented for 2 terms. So yeah, I mean, they all sound like scumbag rhino traitors. I don't care about any of them. The biggest and most exciting win for the White House, though, came Tuesday, defeating Representative Thomas Massie, the Kentucky Republican who opposed Trump on key issues, including on the big, beautiful bill tax and spending plan on pushing for the release of the Epstein files. Massie lost to Trump-backed Ed Gallerine, who got 54% of the GOP primary vote. For months, Trump and his allies have attacked Massie. Then they got their win Tuesday in the most expensive House primary in the history in terms of ad spending. Thomas Massie is just the latest proof that being Democrats' favorite Republican is not a badge of honor in our party. James Blair, a former Trump administration official who now runs Trump's political operation, told NBC News, "Goodbye and good luck with the cows." In an interview last month, Massie noted that except for Cassidy in the Senate, he was one of few Republicans in Washington willing to cross Trump on principle and policy. Even as he also usually voted with him on most issues, Massie added that the results of his race would determine how many more might follow his lead. So now I want to get into this was his concession speech, and we'll hear a little bit of it. It's 33 minutes long. I'm not going to do the entire thing, but let's hear some of it.
Listen, I would have come out sooner, but I had to call my opponent and concede, and it took a while to find Ed Gallerine in Tel Aviv.
That's a knock over his Jewish backers. But he had a lot of Muslim backers as well. I ended up. Did it save my conversation? No, it didn't. I'm going to let this continue. I'm going to go again here.
I did get the call through, though. I have called and conceded the race. We've been honorable the whole time, and we're going to stay that way. You know, Welcome to the most expensive congressional primary ever in the 250-year history of this country. It's not just the most expensive. This thing went on longer than Vietnam. It started 9 months ago, and they didn't even have a candidate, and they decided they want to take me out. I want to start by thanking the volunteers who have put so much effort into this. Some of you came from all across the country. Some of you are homegrown. I love all of you. I see how this is going to work. I'm going to have to not quit talking or you'll start doing it. I want to thank my staff, too. Some of my staff have been with me from the very first race in 2012, and they have done so much. We've never had, contrary to all the BS you've heard, we've never had a single ethics complaint filed against me or my staff in 14 years. I want to thank the donors. Now listen, I'd name them all, but there's 50,000 donors, okay? We didn't lose this race because we didn't have enough money. You know, it is the most expensive race ever. I think when they add it up, right now they can count 35 million. I think when they add it up, it's going to be a lot more than that, because on our side, we know we spent more than 15 million. And we were able to go toe to toe. There was never a week that we got outspent more than 2-1 in this entire race once it got underway. And that's also, it wasn't just the grassroots donors. We had a long time, one of my longest friends, he went through a rough spell, and I never left him. I always supported him. And he actually started the Super PAC, the one that nobody knows who runs it, Cliff Maloney. If you're around, would you come up here? Maybe I can get him out here to take some credit. Or if he's in the crowd, just pick him up and surf him over here. Cliff.
So I want to get on a little bit more here.
The war can't start today. They said we got to wait a day. And then it occurred to me, where was the Secretary of War yesterday? He was here. Listen. Wait. No. Look on the bright side. No more wars. No more wars. No more wars. No more wars. Guys, knock that off. You're going to make me feel good about losing. What I wanted to do was give you all credit. When they saw the influencers here, they panicked. They sent the Secretary of War here, and you stopped the war for a day. All right. We know we don't want a war, and we know why young people are, and middle-aged people are against the next war, because we'd be the ones fighting it. They're trying to bring back the draft. Screw that. We're not going to fight. We're not going to fight some other country's wars, are we? No. What else do we stand for? We don't want to send our money overseas. Okay, I'll go for that.
And that's good points, too. I have a son that just turned 18 years old. And if you remember, I'm Gen X. You had to go to the post office when you turned 18, and you had to fill out that little card there and put yourself out there for the draft, or you could face fines down the road. You could be arrested or taken to court, or you could have issues with Social Security, something like that. They're auto-enrolling everybody now. I got the notification in the mail that my son is already registered in the draft. They were already keeping track that when he turned 18. I'm keeping it for my records. Excuse me. They've already registered him. I'm thinking to myself, I got to get him to the post office. You got a certain amount of time, or maybe there'll be a penalty or something. They automatically did it. With all of this going on, it's scary for me as a parent. I don't want my son dying for Israel. And that's what this war seems like right now. It seems like we didn't go there on what part of this is saving the United States? I haven't gotten any concrete proof that they were minutes away from making a nuclear weapon and it was going to be a problem. It's all hearsay and bad information all being tossed around. And now we're in this thing, and then we're potentially, we're talking about putting boots on the ground in order to help clear out defenses along the Strait of Hormuz so tankers can get through again. So you're going to put kids on the ground and young men and young women on the ground. So yeah, that's problematic as well. He has a good point. And the Fed, yeah.
I've got a bill to do that. I've also got a bill to end the in the Department of Education.
Yeah, that too. That's not a shit organization. By the way, the Fed is not a government institution. They're the ones that it's just an organization that the government liaisons with over financial affairs. You think the Fed is this official thing? It's not.
Rand Paul says he wants to pass a law that you need one day to read 10 pages of every bill. I asked Rand, what are you going to do about my bill that's one sentence long to end the Department of Education? That'd be like 5 minutes to read that bill. By the way, do you know how many pages the Epstein Files Transparency Act was? 2 pages. We're tired of meddling overseas. We can't afford it. Our empire will collapse if we keep sending our money to other countries. I never picked a fight with the country that's tried to take me out here because I've never voted for foreign aid to any country. We got to take care of America first. America first. America first. America first. America first. America first. Maha. Is anybody here for Maha? We need medical freedom. We need all of those freedoms. Decent. Now 24 CEOs, an ambassador, a prince, a prime minister, a minister of culture.
So that's the people that initially got
and that was just 6
Epstein
months. I got 7 months left in Congress.
Now, we'll see if he's real. So he's been beaten. He has 7 months left. I guarantee whatever issues he's having with Trump now are going to escalate and become worse. But will he say fuck it at this point and start releasing more names? I mean, what are you going to do? You're going to vote him out? You're going to kick him out? His term's over in 7 months. He's done his time. There's a new person in coming in. So if he's real and he feels really strongly about this, not just to take shots at President Trump, but also to expose all the names that are on the list.
Wait, hey, when did bipartisanship become a dirty word in this country?
Now, here's the problem that I've had with Thomas Massie, what he just brought up right here. There have been several times where he's crossed over the aisle because he hasn't liked some things that were in a bill, and he's voted with the Democrats in order to shoot the bill down. Now, what ended up happening was he was kind of voting his conscience in some things. There was extra fat in the bill that was being put in by Republicans. He didn't like it. He wanted it removed. They refused. So he went along with Democrats and voted with them to shoot the bill down. The problem that I have is two things. It's one, don't go and side with the enemy. I know that our government is made so that Democrats and Republicans are supposed to work together in order to move the country forward and its people. And if they can't, it's supposed to come to a dead stop until they can come to some sort of agreement. One party is not supposed to have all of the power. The other one is supposed to be, a stopgap measure against them in order for their ideologies, and then the other one is arguing their point. But it has changed so much in our lifetime that it isn't one side or the other that is arguing over an interpretation of some policies, or you wanted to lower some taxes over here and these guys over here are really looking for a larger drop in this and that. No, it's turned into Democrats are the enemies of the republic. I said this earlier in the video. They hate this country, its values, and its laws. They hate us. They hate the nuclear family. They hate normality. They hate everything. They want to install their own chaotic tranny utopia. And then when they can run things their way, they will establish the order they feel needs to be established. And they will be the party that runs the show from there on in. This has been the way since the Civil War. When the South lost, all of the northern and democratic states ended up gaining all of the power because anyone that was associated with the South after that point were treated like second-class citizens. You couldn't run or win an office, even if you did. Supplies were given after the northern states were supplied, and that shows you, at least up to this point, where northern states will be a little more advanced, and then you'll go to Alabama or something else, and it's you have a lot more places that are just run down shitholes. It's the South is always run behind at that point because Democrats ended up in control after the Civil War was over. And they have ran with that ball since then, running other cities right into the ground. Chicago, New York, and others, just turning into shitholes that are full of violence. That's what happens when the Democrats get ultimate control in California, right? This is what happens when you give them a generational run to be in charge of everything. So I have a problem with any Republican that crosses over the aisle and votes with Democrats. That's my problem with Massie. That's why I've been critical of Massie in the past. Now, he seems like he's a good guy that's been voting his conscience. The problem is in politics and in this day and age, it's simply not good enough. When the Democrats come together to vote for something, they are thick as thieves. It doesn't matter that they're not getting along. It doesn't matter that they don't really like one thing or the other. They all, for the most part, they all come together and vote to get the primary thing that they are trying to push shoved through. And they don't give a shit about what they like or don't like, what's bad in it, or whatever. They just shove it in and down everybody's throats. When it comes time for the Republicans to come together as a group and do the same thing, even though there's some bad fat in it, they splinter, they break up, they argue, they make side deals, which everybody does, but they even more so, it seems like with them. They make side deals, and then they cross over the aisle and vote with Democrats because if you have a majority, as long as you can get the majority of your people on the same page, you don't need the Democrats and you don't need anybody else to vote yes. You can even manage to lose a couple naysayers, and you can still get the yes that you want. But when you get people like Thomas Massie that cross over and deal with them by claiming we need bipartisanship, you don't deal with the enemy in bipartisanship. Democrats are the enemy. Name me one good thing Democrats have done in the past 10 years. I can't. What have they done? Other than cutting your children's body parts off, putting LGBTQ crap all over the place so it's being shoved down your throat 24/7. taxing you like crazy. And they say, well, tax the rich. They are the rich. Look, here's one page I encourage all of you to check out. This is congress.cash. Follow the money. This is the entirety of Congress, not just one party. 2.16 billion by 454 candidates has been raised, billion with a B. From individuals, 1.41 billion. From super PACs, 397.4 million. This is individual donors here. This is PACs and committees here. And this is other, self or party. And this pie graph here shows you the amount. Individual donors, 1.41. These are millionaires and billionaires from not only this country, but all over the world too. Money by party. Look what the Democrats have raised. $1.12 billion. They have outraised Republicans. Republicans are at 1.3 billion currently. Democrats are at 1.12 billion. Now, remind me again that the Democrats say tax the rich is bad, we're going to tax the rich. The rich are their donors. I have been hearing tax the rich from Democrats since I was a young lad. It has never happened. That plan that they were going to put more money in regular old Joe and Jane's pocket, that all of us are work busting our asses, and take more out of all of the rich, has never happened in my entire lifetime, and I'm in my 40s now. Democrats have been saying that for 40 years. It's bullshit. They don't want to tax the rich. They need the rich. The same as everybody else. If you tax the hell out of your donors, when are they going to want to give to you? When are they going to want to help you out with that 1.12 billion? Top recipients of PAC money. Jason Smith from Missouri, 3.5. These are Republicans. Brett Guthrie, 2.8 million. John Barrasso, 2.7 million. There's Hakeem Jeffries from New York, 2.6. Tommy Baldwin, Democrat from Wisconsin, 2.6. Jackie Rosen, Nevada, 2.6. Stephen Horsford, Nevada, 2.5. All Democrats. Look at this. Ted Cruz, Republican. Total raise, 74.1 million. From individuals, it was 67 million. Ruben Gallego, Democrat from Arizona. I think he beat the incumbent Republican, didn't he? Well, Mr. I'm going to be there for the people. This shitbag is in number 2 spot, raising 64.7 million. 59 from individuals. Elisa Slotkin from Michigan, Democrat, 51 million. Yeah, the party that's going to tax the rich, their donors. This is all of them. You can break them all down. And I don't know if this will give you browse contributors, because I found another page that will show you some of them. Some of them donate directly. Others donate through PACs or LLCs because they don't want their name. This one isn't loading. Just give me the contributors in general. Okay, that's cool. So I looked up this one. This is another one you can use. This is the Federal Elections Commission. You can go there and check it out as well. And you can look up whoever you like. So Senate candidates that are currently running in 2026 have thus far raised 728,735,119. Democrats again are outbuilding Republicans. Democrats currently at a grand total of 431,926,983, with Republicans at only 285 million. They've raised half. The Democrat money machine is rolling again, even though we took out U.S. aid and stuff like that. They're getting it from, and the Green parties, 11 million. Unless there's a new party that comes in that people want to go with. And here you go. Jonathan Ossoff, 81 million. James Tellerico, Democrat, 40 million. He's number 2. Cory Booker, This fucking fag that can't shut up and cries and screams and hollers on the Senate floor, the House floor. 31 million. So let's go to him. And some of the things you can do is you can select some in itemize individual contributions, or you can also do other committee. So other committee contributions are 543,290. It's interesting that this is all having a hard time loading. So the Jersey Values PAC, the American Federation of State and County Municipal Employees, the Blue Wave Project, ALSO PAC, the Rev It Up PAC. Rev It Up PAC gave him $2,500. The ALSO PAC gave him $2,500. Now, it won't give you details unless you look them up. I want to see if this is going, they're going to load any of their information. I'm also going to try and look them up over here and just say, let's do. So thus far, they have given 463,250 to Booker T over here. Now, let's see, the Rev It Up PAC is given $2,500. So let's take the Rev It Up PAC. Let's put them over here. And let's see what they're about. No, this isn't right. Did that link not go right? So I want the information about this committee. Christopher Koob is the treasurer. They're PAC qualified. They're out of Pennsylvania. But it doesn't, this one's interesting because it usually gives me information. This is not giving me their statement about who they are and what they do. It's almost like they don't have information. Okay, let me try them. Maybe they don't have detailed information. The Rev Up PAC. So the Rev Up PAC is a political action committee focused on supporting progressive candidates and causes, raising significant funds to influence federal elections. These are all these PACs and these different not OGs, but these fucking stupid PACs that. Rev Up PAC is a political action committee registered with the Federal Election Commission under the committee IDCO. Its primary purpose is to raise and distribute funds to support federal candidates and political initiatives. Aligned with this mission during the 2021-2022 election cycle, Rev Up PAC raised $858,722, reflecting its active role in political fundraising. Its mission and activities. The PAC is associated with progressive advocacy and works to support candidates who align with its policy priorities. With specific policy goals are not detailed in the FEC filings. That's interesting. PACs like Rev Up typically focus on electoral influence, campaign contributions, and independent expenditures. To advocate their political objectives, contributions are often directed towards candidates, political parties, or issue-based campaigns that reflect PAC's values. So these guys could be all about LGBTQ, trans rights. It could all be in there, and it's not all the way in their modus operandi. You can't see it all. But if you're curious to know, you can do one of two things. You can go to the Federal Election Commission, or you can go to Cash for Congress. That finally loaded. Total amount by size, $2,000 plus. It's the biggest part of the circle right there. Top organizations and PACs: Team Moreno, Bernie Moreno, Win Red. Moreno for Ohio State Republican nominee, reclaim the majority. Battleground Victory 2024. So some of this is old stuff. So let's see if we can get any information on Moreno. So the candidate was Bernie Moreno, Republican for Ohio. Total received $4.7 million. Dan Sullivan, Republican, $4.3 million. The Ohio Republican Party State Central and Executive Committee donated $128,000. Best at bringing entrepreneurial results, never imagined or envisioned PAC, $113K. How's that for a name? And I would have to look them. I would have to look them up because that's not coming up. This pack is not coming up either. And this is Republicans. No, don't erase you fucking thing. Here we go. And it's not even showing me this one. Come on, give me this one. Okay, fuck off. Why does it keep wanting an image? Fuck off. Okay. I just think this is such an entertaining name. Jesus Christ. I think they named it this so you wouldn't look it up. The best at bringing entrepreneurial, never imagine as a leadership pack that supports multiple federal candidates and is registered with the Federal Election Commission. Which means that it is designed to support candidates for federal office that could raise funds from individuals and organizations. These PACs, it all depends on how they're registered and what they can do. The PAC aims to promote entrepreneurial initiatives and support candidates who align with this vision of fostering innovative business practices and economic growth. The PAC is not a separate segregated fund or party committee, indicating that it operates independently to support various candidates rather than being tied to a specific political party. So it's like one large slush fund. For more detailed information, FCC's official thing. So, again, I branched off a little bit, but this is what all these shitbags get, is all of this. Okay, so it shows here, when I asked this, to kind of wrap everything up here with a little bit and then come to what my personal opinion is. Because, where did I go? 37 minutes. Yes, Representative Thomas Massie received notable donations from Muslim American family, which count as relatively large individual contributions. The most prominent example is Sam Marouk, a Texas-based Muslim American businessman, real estate tech, and auto dealership executive who was born in Palestine refugee camp and serves on Arlington, Texas Mayor's Muslim Advisory Council. You know, why this is America. Why does Texas, the Texas mayors need a Muslim advisory council? And why does Thomas Massie need donations from that? If we're going to talk about this guy that won against him, the one with the weird fucking name, Real or something. If we're going to talk about all the Jewish donations that he got, then why can't we talk about the donations that Massie was getting too? I have concerns about that. He and members of his family each donated the federal maximum of $7,000 to Massie's campaign in the relevant cycle. This included his wife Rania, daughter Raineem, son Zaid, and other family member Mohammed Marouk, employed by Marouk's company Econ Technologies, for a family total in the range of $35,000. These donations were reported in FEC filings and covered in outlets like the Washington Free Beacon, March 26. Marouk's company, Econ Technologies, also appears among Massie's top organizational contributors, around 14,000 in one recent cycle per Open Secrets data. So, here's the thing. Everyone is upset about what his opponent got from these large Jewish donors and then the push from Trump. But no one is upset about the Muslim focused donors in Texas, which there's been a whole bunch of hubbub going on with the Muslims. At one point approached the town and wanted permission to buy up a large area of land, make it completely Muslim Sharia law only. They would run it, they would police it. And they tried to get the people of the town to vote to allow that to happen. And of course, the people shut it down. So my point is this: two things can be true at once. We can be concerned over Israel's influence on our politicians and what our government does or our president does. Also, we can be concerned about the Muslim influence that's rising and how they want their culture to end up taking over and superseding ours. They want a larger and larger majority as they come in. And they don't, a lot of them don't integrate. It's you have to live their way or you're not a part of it. Now, you can say the Jews do the same thing. Okay, again, two things can be true at once, and we have a problem on both sides. So, yeah, the other concern I have here is this: these ones that are jumping off the MAGA train and then they're saying that they're going to vote Democrat. I mean, how fucking stupid can you be? I understand the Republicans are a mess right now, but don't be a fucking retard and vote Democrat. I mean, you are literally screwing the rest of us when you're doing that, just so you can give the middle finger to Israel. And by the way, the Democrats get Israeli donors too. The last time I did one of these, when I looked at Cash for Congress, or it was moneytocongress.com, and they've changed now. Joe Biden was one of the senators before he ran for president. He was one of the highest paid senators by Israeli supporters. So you think you're gonna bring in Democrats and that's going to change a situation that's here? It's not. They're still getting the same donors as well. So I want to finish up here with one final thought. So Kentucky Girl here says, if y'all think that people in Kentucky voted against Massie because of Israel, you're nuts. People voted against Massie because he's a Trump MAGA obstructionist. Kentucky went for Trump by plus 30, end of story. And I think that aside from this, like Muslims backing Massie, Jews backing Galil, right? Wasn't it fucking Galil or something? I think it's more than that. This is the split in MAGA where Massie might have had the best of intentions, but the people that are still diehard Trump supporters, they can't think for themselves. I have spoken out against Trump on this show. I call balls and strikes on this show. I do not lie to my viewers. If I make a mistake, I'll correct it. If I give an opinion, that's my opinion. And if I find that maybe it was wrong or maybe I need to reevaluate my opinion, I'll have that discussion too. We'll talk about it. But what I'm seeing here is the fraction of the fracture, I should say, of MAGA. And I think that has really happened. I think a lot of people are jumping off the train and they're going to back people that were like OG MAGA, not what the new MAGA has turned into, I guess. So like new MAGA is like Israel first now. It's MEGA instead of MAGA, right? So the Trump and the other guys that are still supporting him are like MEGA, and these leftover remnants of MAGA are going for Massie or Marjorie Taylor Greene and others of the sort like that. And I think this is where you saw the split with Massie, because in the previous midterms, Trump backed other candidates specifically, and they still lost anyway. Oz lost in Pennsylvania to Fetterman. Trump specifically backed him, but he was so bad of a candidate that it didn't matter that he had Trump support. So this time it wasn't just Trump alone. It was this Jewish coalition that came in to back the other guy and to oppose Massie. Massie trying to oppose all of that with some of his Muslim backers as well, and it didn't work out. And I'm saying that, in my opinion, it's like America is caught in the middle over issues that are not American, right? These Jewish backers trying to push what they want. These Jewish whales, the ones that have a lot of money and donate. These Jewish whales are pushing for the things that work best, that will end up going overseas and benefiting Israel. And then the Muslims are pushing and donating for the things that will benefit them best as they integrate into this country and start to kind of pave over us and start their own thing in their own way. And all of those things are a problem. I think at this point we need a new party. I am seeing some of that, and I agree with it. It's just You have the Green Party. It has never made it has never made a run that was successful. You need one of like old expatriates that come together and still have strength, you know. And I don't know I don't know what it's going to turn into, but this is a mess. The Republican Party is a mess, and I'm at current, unless the redistricting goes really well. I have serious concerns for the midterms coming up in November. So anyway, I've been yapping for too long here. That's my thoughts for this update. You guys let me know what your thoughts are too. And if you appreciated this update and some of the information, buy me a coffee and use the either the link or the QR over there. Thanks everybody, and I'll talk to you again soon.